Last time on Edwin's journal, since I got dumped, this girl that I've been seeing just basically did a 180. Everything she texted me did not line up with how we were in person. I can't bring myself to be in this 100%. That's not fair to you at all. From my perspective, you and I are still very fresh, and so it didn't feel inappropriate to let you know through text. Like, I let her borrow my cardigan because it was cold out and she didn't bring a jacket. Yeah, she still has my cardigan, by the way. So, and then she texted me saying like, "Ooh, your cardigan smells like you." And she gave me heart face emoji. Like, that's the last time I saw her.
Welcome to Edwin's journal.
I think I'm gonna call this vlog "I Got Dumped Part 2. That's right, we're getting a sequel. Guys, this is a happy ending. This is a conclusion. If you guys didn't watch that first video, by the way, go check it out. But long story short, TLDW, too long, didn't watch. I was seeing this chick for like 2 months and we were hitting off so good. We were like on the same page in so many ways. We were both so clear about how important communication was to us. And then I guess suddenly it wasn't because she was pulling away and la-di-da. It was just kind of threw me off guard because we had planned to spend Thanksgiving together and suddenly she's like, "I'm getting cold feet a week before Thanksgiving." I'm like, "What? Dude, we were gonna cook this dish together." So like I had to spend Thanksgiving, tell my family, "Oh yeah, sorry, I'm not contributing this." Anyways, that's besides the point. But yeah, so that's that video. I explained all that, but that was actually a day before the conclusion, right? So the day after that vlog, I wanted to get my cardigan back, which I did. This is not it. This is a placeholder because I don't have it handy, but it's in my room. But I wanted to get it back because I've had that cardigan for like 2 decades almost. And it's, you know, it's a good one. It's a good one. Even though she really liked it and the way it smelled like me, right? Like the last time we hung out, she said, "Oh, I love how it smells like you." It's just a cute text and everything. But I'm like, okay, so if you're just like ripping everything off, like, you know, just completely destroying all that we had built, the beautiful friendship, that's fine. That's fine. But I want my cardigan back. So I sent her a text. I'm like, "Listen, do you think I could get my cardigan, or you could drop it off? You know, if you could just drop it off at the doorstep, so I don't have to distract you." I said it kind of like a sassy joke, because she said that like she wanted to focus on herself, and you know, it wasn't fair to me if she couldn't invest 100%. And I'm like, why are you being so serious? Like, we're not like together, right? We're just kind of seeing each other casually. So it's kind of like throwing me off. Like, okay, like if you don't want to see me romantically, like we're not like committed. I mean, we were like exclusive, but if you want to take a step back, you could just communicate that. And that's kind of like what kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, but we could still be friends, kind of thing. Because like, honestly, deep down for me, I want someone that I can vibe off really well, right? Like, I feel like that security could just balance me out, because doing creative work and videos and just stuff that's like online is pretty isolating, right? Even if it's not online, like if you have like a niche kind of hobby or job, whatever it is, you could probably relate in that like sometimes it feels a little isolating. You don't have people to talk about or whatever, and you don't necessarily need someone to talk about it, but it could help to at least have somebody to kind of laugh and just like, you know, just whatever. So the fact that she was cute and she liked corn, oh my god, like, you know, like that was cool. That's good enough for me though. Like, we could go to concerts. I could have someone to do like activities that I like. I don't really have that like in Arizona, to be honest. Like, I have friends, but like I had a lot in common with her. So I was just excited. And honestly, like, hand to my heart, not the Elon way. Okay, don't worry, I'm not gonna do it that way. That's so stupid. I don't have to be romantic with her, like whatever, right? For me, it's not that black and white. So anyways, that's that for me, right? And she was just kind of pulling away, and it really threw me off. But anyways, I wanted my cardigan, so I sent her a text the day after I did that vlog. And she said that because her mom does live near me, and she said she could drop it off. So she did, and I was walking my dog, Butchies, and I saw her drop it off, like, but I was at the end of the street. And then I saw her get in the back in her car and like drive away. I was like, wow, she really did just drop it off at the doorstep, right? I mean, she told me like, "Hey, I left it at your door." So I was like, "Okay, thanks." And then like for about an hour, I was like, geez, I can't believe she really just thrown it all away, right? So I decided to send her like one last text. Let me see. I'm gonna just read it for you guys. I just wanted to let it all out, basically. Like, if she's really just gonna cut it off, I feel like, whatever, screw it. Let me just let it out of my system, right? I said, I'm baffled as to how you couldn't even be my friend, speak, or face me after how close we became. I think you weren't honest with me. Maybe something impactful happened during your trip, because literally she like went on like a week trip and then she came back and like just like distance herself from me. I said, even devaluing our friendship to really fresh, right? Because she said that like she didn't feel the need to have a phone call or like see me again. She thought like texting and everything was fine. And I'm like, okay. Like she's like, because we're still fresh. I'm like, what? I mean, we are fresh, but like, and that's the thing. She said she was more comfortable texting because she could get her thoughts out more clearly. But the thing is, she never did. Like she didn't get her thoughts out at all. Like she didn't give me any reassurance, which kind of fits into the next thing that I want to say that helped me get clarity as to why, right? And here's the thing. I wanna connect to someone left a comment saying like, Edwin, you're not owed anything. And I'm like, okay, I know, but that doesn't. Anyways, sorry, I'm skipping ahead. Anyways, I said we were gonna have Thanksgiving together, LOL. You invited me to the Linkin Park cover band show in January. You said you'd be down to the cruise in April. You thanked me for the nice chat in our car on our last hangout because we literally were on the same exact page. Like that was like a main vibe of our talk. And I said I could go on. Saying you can't 100% invest in us, why would you have to? We aren't even official. It isn't necessary. Like, there's like steps to communicate that, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, the point is not to guilt you or anything. It's to let you know that I know I see through the BS. And you didn't have to be so dramatic and throw me away like that. Lol. Sorry, I feel like it was a little bit of a Korn reference. All right. There's a Korn song. Don't let them throw me away. Probably nobody gets it. Anyways. Whether you're hiding something or not, I know you weren't honest, and that's why you cut me off in this manner. I think you're self-sabotaging as a defense mechanism of some sort. Maybe you don't think you deserve love or something. That's a little bit like, I feel like I'm rubbing it in a little bit, right? Like obviously I feel like on the other end, this is kind of pushing it. That's gonna make someone defensive. I knew that, and I said I don't know, but I also figured like fuck it, and I knew I was onto something. And little like after this is when I realized, oh wow. But anyways, I don't know, because I thought we made great friends, but I guess you didn't want that additional possibility to creep up of like being more than friends. All right, I said a lot and don't exactly expect a reply, but I needed to get it off my chest. Have a good night. And she said that like, you say things like what I've brought up isn't valid, and along with the sarcasm you've been throwing my way, to be honest, I'm not very happy with you. And I'm like, okay, what sarcasm? And then, later on I realized, well, maybe like I guess the sarcasm was when I told her like she could drop off my jacket at my doorstep, like, so I don't distract her. But like, I mean, that's like sassy, but not really sarcasm. But anyways, she said, every time we hung out, you sure acted like we were pretty serious. And then when I bring up the point that I can't be 100% in it, it's suddenly ridiculous that I would even think that way. It's like, okay, this is such a weird, almost like gaslighty thing, because like I literally listed examples of her acting like we were serious as well. And that's just what you do when you date, right? Like when you date someone, you're both interested. You talk about hypotheticals and things in the future and you plan for things ahead. I wasn't acting like it's ridiculous of her to say that she can't invest 100%. What I'm trying to communicate is that she should communicate that like without being so dramatic, basically. So this even feels dramatic. I'm like trying to lighten it up, being like, hey, I don't know why you're trying to throw it away all the 100%, basically. Like we could be friends. And like suddenly she's giving me attitude, right? Which is fine. It kind of tells me where she stands. Maybe she was just fluffing it all up, right? Or that she just kind of, once again, not being fully honest, whether it's now or before, right? Sorry, I'm like saying a lot here, but I'm sorry that I've made you feel misled. I could have been more upfront. Yes, I was enjoying hanging out with you and doing these things, but you have always made me feel like it was going to be more. Girl, and what did you do? But like, again, if you didn't mean it, then okay, that's fine. Just communicate it. It's not that like we weren't like boyfriend girlfriend. Like this all feels like such a serious like boyfriend girlfriend kind of breakup when it's like, girl, we were still getting to know each other. And it's funny because this literally on our last hangout, she wanted to be exclusive. right? Or I mean, I don't want to say she because it was definitely like a mutual conversation, and like, yeah, we were both like playing around with hypotheticals instead. So it was all very, I don't know. And again, it doesn't even matter like who said what and who, like, to me, because if we just communicated, which is, it's so frustrating because I swear we were both on the same page about how important communication was to the both of us. And I think she just kind of assumed so much or whatever. Anyway, she said the additional possibility, quote unquote, was always there. And yes, that's not something I want. So I'm like, okay. And anyways, I said, I'm not sure what came across as sarcasm or invalidating, but that was never my intention. I'm glad my message led to you being upfront about how you feel, as transparency is something I strongly value. I appreciate your apology and can accept that I may have given the impression of wanting something more. Though you know we were both contributing to that dynamic, whether it was through playful, flirty moments or making future plans. If those plans didn't mean the same to you, I can accept that as well. Thanks for being honest with me, and I wish you the best. A nice little professional ending message there, right? But anyways, basically, as I later talked to my therapist, she introduced me to these communication styles. Attachment styles. And she's like, oh yeah, she sounds like she's like an avoidant attachment style. And I'm like, huh? And she started telling me about it. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so on point. Everything that avoidant attachment style was like kind of on point. And homegirl, if you're watching, you know, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think everybody watching should take a quiz, by the way, and let me know what your attachment style is. Because I took a quiz and I'm secure attachment, which is kind of like the best one. Not to brag or anything. But anyways, yeah, like she seemed uncomfortable with too much closeness and would create distance, whether by being vague, taking a long time to respond, or deflecting emotional topics. And like whenever I try to get clarity or reassurance, she wouldn't really engage in a way that felt satisfying, which left me feeling like I was chasing after emotional connection. Recognizing her avoidant tendencies helped explain why she acted that way. That it wasn't necessarily about me, and more about how she handled intimacy and emotional vulnerability. So that's the real moral story here. Attachment styles. It's so important, y'all. And these are shaped by like our upbringing and just our traumas and experiences in life. And anyway, everybody take your quizzes, all right? Take your quizzes. Leave me a comment. What is your attachment style? Because that's the true takeaway of this video. And also that I want to manifest, okay? Like I don't need love. That's the thing. Like I'm not necessarily ready for marriage, right? And I want to be completely clear, which I was with her. I swear, this is crazy. I would be satisfied the way we were going. I don't need to move fast. I can move as slow as whatever, right? And I just want someone to kind of push me creatively and or just like that I can feel comfortable with and safe with, right? Just being myself. And I like that I felt safe with her. So that's why the 180 confused me. Oh yeah, back to that comment. I want to read one comment. And you know, we had a conversation throughout the comments. I'm sure they're cool now, right? But the way they commented was really strange. Like, I don't understand why people type like this. No offense, right? But they said, I don't want to invalidate your hurt, and I'm sorry she handled things like this, but respect people's no's, TBH. They don't really owe you an explanation beyond, quote unquote, this isn't right for me, especially after 2 months, dead skull face emoji. It's like, okay, it doesn't sound like you're being, like, I guess it's just online speak, right? Like, I don't mean to invalidate your hurt, but I want to do it. And like, oh, I wasn't like hurting that bad, right? First of all, but also it just sounds extremely like sassy and sarcastic. Like I feel like you're being whatever, right? But anyway, we talked and whatever, but I completely disagree so strongly, right? And I said like, wait, how did I disrespect anything? And they ended up agreeing that if anything, they were a bit disrespectful. They didn't really handle the situation right. And I guess I just disagree with the sentiment that when you spend so much time with somebody, I mean, not so much time, right? We didn't like spend like a lot of time, but throughout 2 months, getting to know each other. And when two parties establish how important communication is, I feel like while I'm not owed communication, I am allowed to seek my personal closure. And the way that I did it was to just let my feelings out. Like if this was a situation where I just met this person once, twice, maybe even 3 times, I would agree with that. But I'm sorry, like, you know, throughout 2 months, and again, I had already also met her a couple other times earlier, like, you know, in months prior. Like, when you get to know someone, if you value the connection, I think it's okay to want to seek closure, right? I mean, if you guys have known me for a while, or if you guys know me through other YouTube channel, right? My other YouTube channel, I used to have an online friend, Creepshow Art, and I was hurt when she kind of like, you know, disappeared and turned out to be someone else. And I like sent her a voicemail, like upset, like I just don't understand, like, and I feel like this person is kind of revealing themselves, their attachment style. They're definitely not a secure attachment. Hot Goomba, I guarantee if you take the attachment style quiz, you probably are not a secure attachment style person. Anyways, guys, that's just the whole story here. I just enjoyed this little ramble vlog. Hope you guys did as well. What else? Hopefully I post more frequently and more close together than like a month and a half apart. I'm sorry. I just think it's so funny that literally this happened in November and then I uploaded it in late January and I'm updating it in friggin' basically mid-March, right? It's so funny. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna work on some more. I'm gonna try to be a little bit better about that though. No guarantees, but like it up. Okay, let's see if we can get to 111 likes. I'm just throwing that number out there, but anyway. Subscribe if you're not, for whatever reason, cheese and rice. If we get to 111 likes, you know what? I'll do another vlog by the end of the month. Let's go.